now many professionals are struggling with staying updated
Hmm.
because we all know that AI is accelerating, right? Like every week, correct? So, what will be your suggestion? How do you balance exploring uh, the cutting edge technology at the same time keeping yourself updated or keeping yourself sustainable? Because that is the biggest question that we get from our learner, that what will happen if I learn Gen AI today, next week you will say that there's a Gen BI,
Hmm.
then what, how do I stay updated?
Yeah, so that's a very good question, and that is I think we are seeing. I think last many years, but after Gen A, it is very very fast. And one thing I generally do for myself is, for example, as I started this interview as well, that how you relate your work to the whole journey, right? So nothing is waste, right? So whatever you learned, you can actually place them and say that there is a path, right? So data science journey without data is of no use. So I said my experience in data is equally important. Cloud is very very useful because if you are a data scientist but you cannot know how to deploy your machine and how to scale your machine, then it is of no use. That means you also have to know cloud. You may always say that, okay, I want only single cloud. I learned only single cloud versus multi-cloud and all these details. That's different. Then another thing is analytical skill. Analytical skill is always important because you have to understand the data, you have to understand how to present the data, and then storytelling is very very important because these are all transferable skill. And storytelling, like we are giving the interview now, we are basically doing a storytelling, right? At the end of the day,
Correct.
what is the data? Data is the past history. What is my experiences? So at the end of the day, this transferable skill is very important. Problem solving skills. So even today you are solving something else. Tomorrow you are going to do data science solution. So you can always say my problems. I have a, for example, 10 to 15 years experience of problem solving. So that will be really helpful. So whenever a new technology is coming, so one way to look at is that, okay, you learn it faster, and then you basically adopt it, and then you basically move on. So my rule, what I have used for my career is, first is that you start with the linear learning. Linear learning means, for example, if supercomputer is coming, you cannot learn it today because first of all, innovations are happening, and then gradually whatever you are learning, probably it is getting changed, right? So open to learn, open to relearn, but do it linearly every day. Some amount of time, 15 minutes to 20 minutes, you read about that same technology again and again and again.
Right.
And then second is, you go after you know the basic. Okay, I understand, I'm getting the interest, because your interest should be there, otherwise it should be forced and you will not be successful. If you are
Mhm.
getting interest, then my next suggestion would be, okay, go for a certification course, because in the certification course, the benefit is all the like-minded people will join and you will all talk about the same topics and same interests and all that, so you will get a boost up. Third is, try to find some projects, small projects, some helping hand, or whatever you want in your own organization. Try to volunteer that, okay, I want to do this work. Even if I don't know, I will at least do something else, but I will making sure that I will spend some time, because on-job learning is very important and you will remember that much better than your education that you got. So hands-on is very important, so you do that. And next is, you always find those opportunities where you will talk about this kind of topic, as I was telling, that I was part of 3AI. So there we are all talking about Gen AI, and all of these aspects. So you will get to know a lot of good stuff what is happening in other companies, or at least the what is called the theory ways. And then you will get to know that the exposure is coming. And then the last part would be that, okay, you raise your hands to say that, okay, I want to go to a particular team who is actually working on that technology, right? So that could be your last move, and then you are settled there for some time, and then the cycle will go on.
Okay. So now, as you said that I mean, these are the sections, or these are the segments, how they can understand how they can remain sustainable, right? So now coming back to the certification part. So when you said that get few certifications first, certification, do the certification course or something like that. Do you think that once they have done any certification course, right? And nowadays, if I talk about the market research, even the certification courses, they don't use raw data. They also use Kaggle data, right?
Mhm.
So, do you think that those people who are those ethics, but there are ethics who are actually giving them raw data. They are
Mhm.
giving them actual use cases. So, do you think which one would be helpful, like the use raw data or the genuine use cases or the Kaggle data, even if it's a certification?
No, I would go with both because
Mhm.
from my experience, the Kaggle is an explorer for having your viewpoint for different kinds of use cases, right? And which you can achieve during your certification journey, right? But when you are coming to enterprise, for example, if you're a part of a supply chain or banking, you will always get the real-time data, but you will always get a real-time data of that particular domain, right? So it has advantage, disadvantage as well. So two things are needed. Like when you are doing your education, definitely you go for a curated data because you are no, you are having a basic, and you went there to understand the data science more on the data part. Because if you spend, for example, in our organization, data understanding is 60-70%, right?
All right.
So, and you went for a certification which is data scientist. So my suggestion would be that there probably you focus more on the data science part because you are spending money, and curated data is enough to work on top of that. But when you are coming to your voluntary work in your organization or small part-time work in your organization or anything that you are doing for your team, definitely start with the raw data and start to understand the real game, because you will find a huge difference that what you learned and what you are actually doing is totally different. And that transition should happen on job, right? Because you will
Mhm.
struggle, you will fail, and then you will ask your colleagues that how they have done it, and probably you will meet some data engineers there, and you find it out that there is also a role called data engineer,
Data
and you
engineering.
never know that you get that interest on data engineering more than data scientist.